Oh my
whatever.
gosh. Welcome to the Zoom meeting. This is amazing. Frida Kahlo, Jackson Pollock, Yayoi Kusama. What an incredible art meeting. Frida Kahlo, how are you doing? Is that you? That's amazing.
It is me. It is me. I've been painting a bunch during this time, and I'd love to share because I've just been here by myself, social distancing in my famous blue house in Mexico City.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, probably a lot of distance, I would think, since you passed away in like 1954. But let's look at your paintings.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Share Frida Kahlo.
This is one I've been working on during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Can you see this?
That's a beautiful image. What is that called?
Well, it's called The Two Fridas. I paint self-portraits because I'm often alone, and so the social distancing honestly it's not that much different from most of my life, and honestly I think I'm also the best person I know, or know the best at least.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a double self-portrait, and it's connected by arteries, and it depicts two different versions of myself. I'm sitting, side by side, and one is wearing this beautiful white European style Victorian dress, because I don't know if you knew this, but I'm half German. And then the other Frida is wearing a very traditional dress from native Mexico.
Beautiful. So I know your physical injuries were an important theme in your work, and also changed the way that you had to make art.
Yeah, you're really dredging into some of my past here. That's actually, it does inform a lot of my art. It's sometimes hard to talk about, but I had a near fatal bus accident when I was 18, and it damaged one of my legs and my spine. And so often my work depicts images from the inside to the outside of my body. And so this painting also, it was like inspired by my multiple surgeries that I've had after that accident.
Yeah, you had some acclaim while you were alive, but you probably don't know how much of an icon you've become and how many people love your work now. Like your husband, Diego Rivera, he was a celebrated journalist. Yeah. But your work has been shown now in countless museum shows. There was even a show at the Brooklyn Museum last year. It didn't even have paintings in it. It wasn't even your paintings. It was artifacts from your house and your jewelry and one of your handmade leg bracelets.
Who would want to look at stuff from my house?
Well, I mean, that it's true, because the show actually, it certainly raised a few eyebrows.
Are you referencing my beautiful monobrow?
Oh, what did I say?
That's actually something I love to paint in my paintings. I think it's a unique characteristic of me.
I'm a giant fan.
Oh, shh. Over there, Diego, you got to keep it down. I'm on a Zoom call. Shh.
Yeah, Zoom call.
Oh, wow. Let's move on. Jackson Pollock. Ghost of Jackson Pollock. Amazing Zoom meeting.
Yes, good morning. My throat's a bit rough. I just got back from a party at Peggy Guggenheim's. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Let me show you what I'm working on. Now, let's see. What should I show you? Let's have a look here. Oh, wow. Yes.
Amazing.
This is quite a unique work of mine.
Jackson Pollock. I mean, did you just get back from a party? I mean, I know you're kind of famous for living fast, but are you social distancing?
Well, Funny you should say that, but I'm actually, I don't know if you know, but I social distance from Willem de Koonen,
Oh,
who's a contemporary artist of mine, you know. Have you ever been trapped in a room with Willem de Koonen?
I have, and I know you had a rivalry with him, but you know,
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were rivals too, and Picasso and Matisse. I guess every artist needs a rival. But hasn't he called you kind of a drip?
Well,
I think he said you were the original super spreader.
well, I suppose he's referring to the way you know, he's referring to my artwork. So that's why he's called me a drip or a super spreader.
Possibly.
Um, you
You know,
know,
Paul Jackson, a lot of people love your work, and critics consider you one of the most influential American artists of the 20th century. But then there's a whole bunch of people they look at your work and they go, well, I could do that. You know, when they see your paintings.
well, maybe they could. Maybe they could too. But they don't understand how art has got turned on its head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and my fellow abstract expressionists, as we were called in the 40s, we were the first Western artists to make art that wasn't a scene or a setting for another place or time. It was the first time paint was just paint, and it didn't represent a landscape, a portrait, or fruit basket. When I painted red, it was because I wanted to paint red, not because an apple was red. We made billboard-sized paintings, huge paintings, and changed the way that people thought about art. Also,
Interesting.
another important aspect of this is Paris was the center of the art world in the 1930s and fairly established, you know, fairly conservative. No one thought American art was that special. In fact, most American artists at the time went to Paris to study art, and there were barely any galleries in New York in the 40s. Abstract expressionism was new and fresh and made in New York City, actually in Soho, most of us lived. With my work, critics started to make American art more seriously. And now there are more artists in Brooklyn per capita than anywhere in the world. Can you believe that?
Too many, some would say.
Yeah, World War changed everything as well, of course, and brought European artists to New York. So New York became the new cultural center of art, of contemporary art.
Yes.
But many people thought my work was a great interpretation of the extraordinary, chaotic time as well.
Yes, it's so interesting. Jackson, have you been hand washing?
Listen, do you know how much oil paint is trapped under my fingernails? I can't do anything in 20 seconds.
What is the splatter with you, Jackson Pollock? Wash your hands. Let's move on. Yaya Kasama, how are you? How have you been doing in these trying times? Are you staying at home?
Well, yes, you know, I'm 91, so I've been sheltering at home since 1977.
Wow. Well, you know, it's good to be cautious.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm famous for making infinity mirrors and infinity rooms, so I made an infinity room so that I would never feel trapped. Let me show you.
Yes, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, so as you can you see what's up?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
This is it's with polka dot installations. I'm crazy with polka dots. I've been working with polka dots since the 1960s.
Yes.
Some of my installations have hundreds of fluorescent polka dots glowing in the UV light, and rooms lined with mirrored glass contain scores of neon colored balls hanging at various heights above the viewer. When you stand inside them, light repeatedly reflects off the mirrored surfaces to create the illusion of a never-ending space.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. And I love going in them myself. And you know, people have lined up for miles just to go into those rooms and take selfies. So anyway, with these repeating patterns of dots, you can create a sense of infinity.
So,
did you know I was called the Princess of Polka Dots?
I did. I love it. The Princess of Polka Dots.
Yeah, I put polka dots on horses, polka dots in a river, polka dots on all these people that performed in my movies. I
Beautiful.
often have anxiety, and painting and drawing dots over and over helps me put myself at ease. I have
You're
famously
wonderful.
said, with just one polka dot, nothing can be achieved. And let me just show you something else.
Yes, I'd love to do something else.
I hope that I can figure out how to screen share
Well, I know, yeah, it's hard. It's hard
this
with
one. I'm
no.
gonna have to just go over here. I'm
Yeah,
really proud of this one. Now, this is, this is in France. I mean, this
amazing.
is
That's
a huge
beautiful.
blow up pumpkin.
Yes, you're famous for your dotted pumpkins.
Thank you, thank you. I
So,
mean, the pumpkin is my alter ego, you know?
yes.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, I hope you guys have seen them on Park Avenue.
Yes, amazing. What are you doing for food as you shelter in place? Should I send over a pizza? Like, what are your favorite toppings?
Well, pepperoni,
Sure,
meatballs,
sure.
whatever they have around. I mean, whatever they have that's round,
Good one, Yayo.
Okay, well, this has been absolutely wonderful. Was that you, not me? Shoot.
That's okay. That's fine. It's been wonderful. It's been such a pleasure meeting everyone. Does everyone know how to leave a Zoom meeting? There's like a red button at the bottom. Do you know, it's like
KS Zoom? KS Zoom?
do you want to do Diego? Do you want James to do Diego? Sorry. I'm gonna stop.